Hey everyone, it's Pato. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to paint together once again. Kind of like doing these videos because I get to just sit down and paint and I get a YouTube video out of it. We're going to take care of my bullet journal today, which I am seriously neglecting every summer because without uni I just don't need it as much. The other tasks I have to do, I can manage without the structure of a bullet journal, so it gets seriously neglected during the summer months. However, I still wanted to do a cover page for August, which I haven't done up until now, and also do a cover page for the month of September, which has just started. What a deal. I can't quite believe it, to be honest. However, I'm starting here with the background for my August cover. I couldn't quite decide if I wanted the background to be like sunny yellow or this bright blue. So I just decided to do both, and I quite like how it ended up looking. So yeah, I'm basically just painting the background here. I do realize in retrospect that it would have been easier to just paint two separate rectangles instead of making them touch and then having to cut through them again later on. You'll see. But that's how I did it. Whatever. So once that was done, I got started on the second background for the September cover. Which I used this mint green for. I mixed that myself just by using some white and green acrylic paint. Oh yeah, the whole covers are being done in acrylic paint, by the way. And yeah, I'm just painting the whole background green. Ain't that beautiful? And a few minutes later, and with some fresh water, I started sketching out the watermelon slices, which I decided should go on the August cover. And yeah, that's what I did. I just used the red right out of the tube because I knew I would need a lot of it, and I was actually just too lazy to mix up some fancy color. So I decided the one straight out of the tube would have to be enough for this. And I pretty much went into this blindly and just sketched away. This is not something I do usually. I usually always have a sketch done in colored pencil or with just graphite pencil or something underneath. But since I wanted the background colors to be really bright and really saturated, I figured that would not be an option this time, and I just sketched it straight in with red. It was panic-inducing, but I did it. And after that, I just filled in all the shapes and corrected them as I saw fit. They're not all perfect, definitely, but that is just the beauty of doing something by hand, isn't it? I have to say, looking at this now, I'm not completely happy with how I arranged the different slices of watermelon, but it's fine, I guess. Also, it was pretty okay filling in the red shapes on the yellow side, but on the blue side I had to go over it twice because the blue was surprisingly not as easy to cover. I should have probably left some space there, but I didn't think of that. So yeah, just had to go over it twice. It was fine in the end. I think it looks fine. So yeah, I'm just correcting the last half circle of watermelon, which is one of my favorite summer fruits, by the way. And then I went in and mixed the color for the outer green parts, I guess. And it basically became almost the same color as I used for the background of the September cover, but oh well, it made sense. I think it looks alright, and I was pretty happy with it. So I just lined the outer edges of these watermelons with this light green color first, and later on I went back in with some white to add like a little bit more detail to this. And yeah, there's not much more detail. I really wanted to have this stay simple and not put too much thought into it, just painting away. I usually tend to want things to be more realistic than my abilities allow me to draw them, which ends in great frustration sometimes. But this one time I went into it and said, okay, this is not going to be perfect. This is not going to resemble a perfect watermelon slice. This is going to be comic-like. There's not going to be much detail, and that's going to be fine. And that kind of helped me, I think. I need to work on this perfectionist side of me. It seriously is the enemy of fun sometimes. And I should work on that, because I love drawing, and I can't keep beating myself up for being not as good as I would like myself to. So yeah, I just repeated that process over and over. Light green and then the white detail on the inside, until it was time to do like the dark green outer edge of the whole thing. But yeah, you'll see me do that in a minute, but I have to warn you, you won't see me doing that a lot, since my camera batteries decided to just die on me as I was doing that, which is a shame, because I actually like doing these details the most, and I also like watching people do these details the most, to be honest. But alas, it is what it is. At least we're back in time for me adding the little black seeds. At first I was overthinking this too, and I even like practiced the shape of them on like the edge of the paper, and then I was like, oh come on, the shape does not have to be perfect. It's okay if they're just black little blobs. It's fine. And so I just started drawing black little blobs into the shapes, and it didn't look half bad, I think. Not sure the arrangement is how it's common in the real life world, but one can guess what it is. It looks like a watermelon, and honestly it looks delicious, so I'm happy with it. And yeah, that was the last little detail that I had to add, and once I was happy with how that looked, I was done. Boom, there you can see it. And then I just had to cut it up to fit my bullet journal, and boom, there we go. I was quite happy with that one, so we're going straight back to the drawing table and go over to these beautiful flowers that I started to draw. I now realize that I forgot to look up what these are called in English. In German, they are called Aster. But yeah, doesn't matter. They're basically like autumn flowers, and I think they come in lilac and white. So I decided to do the lilac ones, since I like the colors more, and yeah, I wanted this page to be colorful. And at first I struggled a little bit with the petal shape, until I had figured out how I needed to move my brush to make this shape. But I think after that it went quite alright. Right now they just look like gigantic purple blobs, but yeah, whatever. I decided to do these flowers because we wanted to have something kind of autumn themed, especially because the 1st of September was a very cold, very rainy day here. Perfectly fitting to the autumn season. But also there could be a few warmer days left in this year. Sometimes that happens here. So I didn't want to go all out with the autumn theme and draw like pumpkins and stuff. And I thought these typical autumn flowers would be like a nice way to transition from summer to autumn. I don't know if that made sense. It made sense in my head. Whatever. I just started drawing these purple blobs all over, and once I was happy with it, I mixed a darker lilac color using like the purple from the tube and adding a little red and a little blue to it to make it like more saturated, I guess, and a little bit darker. And I started adding details. Honestly, at this part I had no idea what I was doing, but that was fine. I just enjoyed the process and drawing my lines, and I now realize they are barely visible in this shot, and I apologize for that. Trust me, it's more noticeable in real life. I just drew smaller flower-shaped blobs inside the already existing flower-shaped blobs. That made total sense, didn't it? This one was actually a lot of trial and error. I probably would do a few things differently right now if I would go back, but it's fine, I think. I just continued drawing these dark blobs. I hope you're all doing well, honestly. For a lot of people, I think school is beginning again. For me, university starts in November, so I have a lot of time left. But to all of you that are going back to university or school, stay safe, my loves. I'm thinking of you. So once I was done with all the dark purple blobs, I mixed some lighter purple and added some more lighter detail, as you can see. This was basically just me playing around with white color, with light color. I'm sorry for always tripping over my own tongue here. That's just how I do when I talk. It's no different when you talk to me personally, so there you go. And I just added light purple stripes to give it like a little bit more dimension. And I think I'm quite happy with this. I like the way this turned out. And I just kept adding light stripes here and there until I was happy with it. Bada bing, bada boom. And here we go. I added some yellow and orange at first and like barely mixed it, so I thought that was a good idea. But then I quickly realized that it was way too saturated, so I quickly added some brown to it, and that did the trick. So I added like this dotted circle shapes inside of the petals, and I think that turned out quite alright. I first did all of those, and then later on I went back in once I was done with all of the circles with some yellow to like brighten up the middle part. It usually looks like that in nature, I think. And once again, this is by no means realistic. Though I did my best, my abilities are not good enough for me to draw like photorealistic stuff. But it's alright. I mean, this is just for my bullet journal, and it was just to have fun. And there you go, this was the end product, and boom, I got my September cover page. I'm actually quite happy with how these 2 pages turned out. I think they're bright, they're fun, I like looking at them, and I guess that's the whole job they have to do. Here you have some nice close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video and me rambling for 15 minutes. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe.